Hello, and welcome back to Pentiment. If you watched the last episode, you know this is not exactly where we left off. It seems like when I quit, this save was from like 2 or 3 minutes before the video had actually ended, so I had to repeat the whole conversation we just had with Il Peter. Don't worry, I made sure I checked or did all of the same conversation choices that we did in the video, and then I figured on my way back over here, I was like, let me just talk to regular Peter, not Il Peter, and Big Yorg, just to make sure like all of their conversations and everything were normal. And they were, except Big Yorg apparently had more to say, even though we talked to him last time. Because last time it was like an a forced encounter, and now I actually went up to him and talked to him. And this is what happened. We've only missed one line of dialogue. He said, "Hey, Andreas, have you talked to the girls today?" And then I said, Eva and Clara, and that is where we are. So let's continue this conversation. No, I mean the chickens. Okay. Peter, James, and John. They like it when you stroke their back or give them a good scratch under the breast. You named your chickens after the apostles? Isn't that blasphemy? I guess when you put it like that. But I hear about the apostles every Sunday in Mass. They witnessed the greatest moments of glory. They witnessed Jesus' greatest moments of glory and his darkest trials. And I was thinking, that's how it is with the girls and me. They see everything I deal with around here. That makes perfect sense to me, Big Yorg. You have much in common with Christ. Or a word of advice, don't mention that to anyone else, especially the Father. I'll go with that one. It's fine, I got it. I'll just call them the girls from now on. I don't recall your family eating eggs. What do you do with all of them? Oh, we sell them to the ballers? The Bowers. Excuse me, the ballers. Clara says we need the extra money for taxes. Anyway, I should get back to it. Until later, Andreas. Until later, Big Yorg. Yeah, so the part where it like leaves out words and then fills them in after everything else, like it's aesthetically cool, but it's kind of annoying when I'm reading them out loud and I just have to try to guess what they're gonna fill it in, or like I might not even notice. But whatever. Here we go to the town center. First of all, yeah, okay. For some reason, I just got like a weird feeling that I didn't start recording, but I did. Let's talk to Andreas. Hello, Andreas. Alright, I guess that's all we have to say. What about the blacksmith here? Andreas Schmidt's smithy. It's so much smaller than the other one he uses at the Abbey. Alright. Lots of sheepies and another forced encounter. Veronica! Martin, please! Can you give me a hand here? What do you want? I'm keeping an eye on them. That looks like a lot. That looks a lot like standing there and doing nothing. Martin, for Christ's sake, help your cousin. Morning, Andreas. Excuse us. One of the fence rails fell and the sheep started hopping it. Is there something I can do to help? No, excuse me. I'll try to stay out of your way. Martin, idiot, you going to help them? Alright, let's see what our inner dialogue has to say. Should I offer to help? Perhaps helping others also helps us. It allows us to feel useful and take satisfaction in our work, says Socrates. Or Saint Grobian, I think was his name. That idiot Martin should be helping them. Yell at him and give him a good scare. Hee hee. I'll help them out. You know, but I'd rather help the real people of the world than go slave away at the Abbey. Then again, I don't know anything about sheep, and I'd probably just get in their way. Alright, that's also true. I mean, I don't know how well I know Martin, and I don't want to call him an idiot. I'm not going to say, here, let me help. I'm going to say, is there something I can do to help? Have you ever handled sheep before? No. Well, no. Then no, but thank you. Christian of you to offer. See, okay. Now I get out of it, and I get to feel good about myself. Oh, look. There's something going on up at the Steinauer's place. Alright, they're just pointing. Who's that on the horse? Looks rich. I don't know, Martin. But Lucky is giving him an earful. Okay, Lucky, I guess, is the horse's name? God, I haven't seen Lucky that worked up since Peter and Clara's wedding, when Johann pulled his pants down. Or maybe Lucky's not a horse. Knocked 2 of my man's teeth out. You don't want to feel the strength behind the stonemason's anger. Do you think he's a noble? He looks really rich. God damn it, Martin. Stay out of trouble for once. What, Aunt Hetty? Behave yourself. Don't we have enough to deal with right now? Andreas, if you wouldn't mind moving your skinny little body up the road, we need to get these sheep under control. Sure. Of course, see you later. Don't work too hard, Martin. Help your aunt and your cousin, alright? This will be remembered. Eat shit, Andreas! Alright. So we can talk. Well, let's see what they have to say. What? Hey, Andreas. I'm assuming it's the same, but yeah. Hello, Andreas. I'm not going to continue yet. I just want to look and see what's over here. So that's to the church and the Druckers. Of course, everyone knows about the Druckers. We could go back this way, but it doesn't look like we can get to the kerfuffle up there. What is this? That's back to the farm. Okay. So I guess we only have one way to go. To the Druckers. Who be you? Klaus. That was the wife of, or husband of Hetty, the person we just talked to, right? Morning, Andreas. How's it going? Also, what the hell was going on with that? Are you speaking, like, Latin to me or something? Morning, Klaus. Another day at the Abbey, another few hours to work on my masterpiece. Good to hear. You coming by for supper tonight? Marie and Bert would love to see you. Or maybe you're not the husband of that person? You really need to see these new woodcuts I have for an Italian edition of Till Eulenspiegel. Okay. I didn't realize Father Thomas let you print books in Italian. Come on, Andreas. He's not that strict. I know he's just trying to protect people from heresy, witch mania, adventure stories of questionable moral repute, your sloppy typesetting. Well, not all of us have the luxury of taking days to write a single page for a book journeyman mailer. Only journeyman for a few more months, then master. Right, then you can take a week for a single page and they'll probably pay you double for it. See, now you're thinking like a master artist. Too bad you're a printer. But that's probably why his text was like that, is because he's a printer. Okay, that was funny. So, supper tonight, after Vespers. Okay, yeah, Vespers must be like an evening service or some sort. Of course, thank you. Great, I'll tell Marie and Bert you're coming. See you then. Can't wait for something to, like, come up to, like, potentially prevent me from coming, and then I look like an asshole. Doesn't look like there's anything to do here. Come on. Thomas. God bless, Master Mailer. I hope your week is going well. Thank you, Father. It's going quite well. I'm on my way up to the hill to get to work. Thank you, Father, but I'm running late to the Abbey. It's no problem if you don't have time for me today, but the question is, will you have time for the Lord on Sunday? It's a little on the nose, don't you think? You understand how important it is for your salvation that you receive the Holy Communion, don't you? Yes, apologize. So apparently I haven't been going. I'll make it this Sunday. I do, but I've been working on sketches late at night and sigh. I just stayed up too late on Saturday. I don't want to get into an argument with him about this. Would going to church on Sunday be such a burden? If not for his sake, consider it for your own. A man has many duties. Father Thomas should appreciate how hard you work to help the Abbey. This asshole can't make you go to Mass to help him. I'll try to go. I feel like culturally at this time, you know, it's just like, that's what you do. Mass can be an uplifting experience, remember? Right, there's no need to argue. I should make a better effort to get to Sunday Mass. I'll make it this Sunday. You don't have to make a promise to me, but our salvation is contingent on the... Oh, here they are. Oh my! What a blessed day to receive such an illustrious visitor. Master Mailer, this is Lawrence, Baron of Rothwogel. A great lord from the countryside near Worms. Or Verum? I don't think you pronounce the S, do you? Good to see you, Father Thomas. It is nice to be remembered fondly. I only wish all of your neighbors were as welcoming. Well, yes. What brings you back to our little town? My wife and I were returning from a trip to Venice. We spent a few days in Innsbruck, and it was terribly dull. Bro, Innsbruck is beautiful. What are you talking about? I mean, it has a certain charm common to these alpine cities, but the place was crawling with nobles for the emperor's diet, whatever. A convening of noblemen. The emperor? Was he there? Did you see him? Oh, briefly. But he was sitting for a portrait at the time. Quite lovely. I don't want to bother him, or the painter. Who was the artist, my lord? Why was the diet assembled? I would like to know the answer to both of these questions. But I feel like, roleplay-wise, it makes sense for Andreas to say, I wonder who the artist was. I'm sure you know him. An older man from Nuremberg with enough of a reputation to paint the emperor. It's probably someone I've heard of in real life. Yeah, Albrecht Dürer. You must mean Albrecht Dürer. As a fellow Nuremberger, an artist, I admire his business acumen as much as his talent. I'm sorry, my lord, I'm not sure who you mean. Well, 2 artists from Nuremberg in a week. What are the odds? So I feel like no matter what background I had chosen, I would have known the answer to that question. Anyway, my wife wanted to stay a bit longer in Innsbruck, and I decided to ride ahead to make a visit to Kiersau. That's where we are. I heard Father Matthias died shortly after my last visit, of course. That must be who preceded Father Thomas or something. A great loss for the Abbey and for us all. Indeed, by good fortune, I recently came across a copy of the Historia Testia he was reading during my last visit. Father Matthias was hoping to find a second copy to corroborate the contents of the first. It contains some fascinating details about the history of this place. I'm afraid they might even cause a bit of a scandal. This guy's making lots of typos. I wonder if that's, reflective of his personality, or, the way he's supposed to be talking. Yes. But I must be off. There will be time enough to discuss Testing's past later. I commissioned a manuscript from the Abbey through Father Gernot, and I have come to check on its progress. Oh, shit. Oh, my lord, if you have come to see your manuscript, you should speak with young Master Mailer here. Not quite a true master yet. I still have to marry and be approved by our city council. Andreas is a journeyman artist from Nuremberg. For the next few months, he is also helping in the Abbey's scriptorium. A Nuremberger artist working in an Abbey scriptorium in 1518? Oh, we should talk, Andreas. I must know the story. Are you saying this is beneath me, I would assume? Of course, my lord, it would be an honor. Well, I'm already late to the Abbey, but I suppose it's alright. Surely my lord would find a little entertainment or companionship in me. I'll let him know I'm late. Of course, it is. I'll have a word with the abbot if he makes a fuss. Sure. Good with me. Although maybe I'm making less progress than I should be. And if he still makes a fuss, I'll have a word with the Prince Bishop of Freising, a good friend of mine. Thanks for the introduction, Father Thomas. Come to supper at the Abbey tonight. God damn it. I'm inviting you to the abbot's table. Did the abbot invite me? Get fucked. Oh, don't worry about it, Father. Just show up after Vespers. What is he going to do? Refuse us? Oh, I thought you were just going to tell him off. Yeah. Excellent. We will see you then. Nicholas, I'm dismounting. Run ahead of us and take the horses to the Abbey's guest house. I'd like to take my time talking to Master Mailer. I'll meet you there. At once, my lord. Okay, interesting. Well, so we're late to work, and making ourselves even later, and we have potentially conflicting plans with the family we promised we would eat dinner with, so off to a great start. So then, a journeyman from Nuremberg. Forgive me for saying so, but you seem a little old to not yet be a master. Are you unmarried? No, I'm not married, but in truth, I came to my vocation later than my fathers and brothers. I was in university for a number of years at Erfurt. Erfurt, wonderful. The same university as Martin Luther. Have you read his works? Tremendous mind. Ooh. I wonder... 1518, this is, definitely pre-Protestant Reformation, but it's right on the horizon. So I don't know the exact time frame of Martin Luther's publications, but I imagine it's not, spreading at this point. but obviously it's like the beginning of it. He says things about the church that should have been said years ago. Might get him into trouble, but he's a brave, brilliant man. Wait, you may have even met him, did you? You must tell me. Ah, no, he was a few years ahead of me. Still, his ideas do seem fascinating. I agree, wholeheartedly. I simply must meet him if I get the chance. I wonder if the good brothers of the Abbey have heard of him. I probably wouldn't mention that. Perhaps they have even read his list of 95 theses against the church. Alright, so we're at least after that. Father Matthias was not above having a lively debate. I hope Father Gernot does not disappoint in that regard. But enough about Luther for now. Tell me about your university studies. Forgive me, Baron, but did you attend university? You seem very well educated. I'll say, why are you so interested in my education? Yes, it must seem strange. I did not attend university, but I had a rich private education at my family's estate. What? The font changed, too. What? I don't understand the significance of that. I'm sure it's supposed to signify something about his personality or his education or the way he's talking. I love all knowledge, from Aristotle and Cicero to Ficino and Erasmus, and everyone in between and yet to come. I may have misjudged the Baron. It seems he is as well-read as any university student. In truth, I am simply happy to speak with another well-educated man. Now then, did you earn your doctorate? No, I did not. Only a master's degree. I started working towards a doctorate, but didn't finish. Oh, that's a shame. Well, what was your area of study? Alright, here we go. Theology. Andreas has a strong understanding of Catholic theology, biblical knowledge, canon law, heresies, and similar subjects. Imperial law. Andreas knows the basics of the fractured systems of laws that govern the various states of the Holy Roman Empire. Or medicine. Andreas is familiar with the basics of human biology, medicine, and illness. I am going to choose medicine. All things medical, studying the latest and greatest text coming out of Italy. Yes, the Italians continue to innovate in that area. Extraordinary, really. But remember, we did not go to school in... Well, we went to school in Erfurt, apparently. But we spent time in Basel, Switzerland, not Italy. Although Italian is spoken in parts of Switzerland. I don't know if Basel was one of those areas, although they did say we would be able to understand some Italian, so I guess so. Fascinating work. Who knows what secrets we may learn from the human body in the decades to come. Hello. Otilia. I believe someone referenced her earlier. If I had any faith, I would have prayed you'd never show your face here again. Uh-oh. Curse you, Lorenz Rothwogel. Perkta's dogs. Tearing you to pieces would be too kind of fate. Okay, so she's referencing the, like, pagan local god that Il Peter referenced. The White Lady or whatever. These rustic community... typo, I guess? These rustic communities display a shocking lack of hospitality, don't you think? What was that about? Who knows? By the time I finish guessing, the old crone will probably be dead. Okay. Well, what of your early time at university? Every student must study the trivium and quadrivium, yes? I guess that's just like gen ed stuff. Did you have a favorite subject? History, my lad. A Latinist. Andreas has a strong command of Latin grammar and vocabulary. He can also easily recall Scintiae Antiquae, quoted words of wisdom from the Roman Republican Empire. A logician. Andreas instinctively thinks through the implications of information as he receives it. It is adept at spatial analysis and can easily perform complicated calculations in his head. Orator. Andreas excelled at rhetoric in university. He is a skilled teacher, persuader, and public speaker. Occultist. Andreas knows a soul-endangering amount of theoretical and practical knowledge on alchemy, astrology, theurgy, necromancy, and various magical rites and ceremonies, heavens and earth. Andreas knows a great deal about the constellations, heavenly bodies, and their movement. He's also familiar with various plants and animals from study and personal experience. I could be convinced into going to each of these. I think these are all fascinating. I'm torn between the last three: Orator, Occultist, and Heavens and Earth. Trying to think. So he it seems like his fathers and brothers are also manuscriptors, whatever the word is, artist. I went to school to study medicine. I feel like orator kind of makes sense, but I was like, I don't want to do this, and I want to be an artist. So he changed career paths. I feel like orator makes the most sense, excluding the first two. The first two either could make a lot of sense. Latinist makes a ton of sense for medicine. But that's like today. Does it make a ton of sense then? I mean, I'm sure it does. But occultist and heavens and earth just seem more interesting to me. You know, you've got like astronomy and whatnot. You could be a true Renaissance man. Very appropriate of this time. I don't know that I would, like, you're studying medicine. I mean, occultist is just cool. Like, I just want to do this from, like, a gameplay perspective, but I feel like for his character, either heavens and earth and orator. Andreas excelled at rhetoric in university. He's a skilled teacher, persuader, and public teacher. Or, he knows a great deal about the constellations, heavenly bodies, and their movement. He is also familiar with various plants and animals from study and personal experience. I'm going to go with heavens and earth. I think specifically the plants thing makes sense if he studied medicine. And, you know, constellations and astronomy and stuff is cool. I love studying the natural world, my lord, both the heavens above and the wild spaces around us. Formerly, I studied as much astronomy as I could. It's incredible how much we've learned from both the Arabs and the Greeks. True, but even now we continue to discover more about what we can see within the celestial sphere. What began as pagan myths to explain our place in the world may help us understand our place in the heavens. And this may seem foolish, but I spent a lot of time in the wilderness learning about plants and animals. Really, did the libraries of Erfurt not have enough herbals to satisfy your curiosity? I don't mean to malign our most august Greek and Roman authors, but De Materia Medica was written before the coming of Christ. Surely there is more that we can learn about plants, insects, and animals by observing them in nature. And beyond that, I simply have a love for wild places. While I do not share your academic interest in nature, I must admit that I sometimes enjoy the solitude of a walk in the woods. And your other studies, was there anything else you excelled at? Oh, we get to choose another one! But it took away... Oh no, it didn't take away any, there were 5. I mean, again, Latinist, I just think makes the most sense. Logician would be, like, that's just good for, like, any intelligent person, I feel like. I don't think he's an orator. I don't think he's, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, he seems a little bit more closed off to me. I'm getting so into this character. I am not a role player. Like, even when I'm playing RPGs by myself, I just do what I think is best for the outcome of the game. I'm very rarely, I'm like, what would the character do? But here I'm like, I don't know. Something about this is very interesting to me. I really want to do occultist. I keep coming back to it. I just think it's cool. But also, does it really make sense? And would you admit to that? I mean, I did say I was fascinated by Martin Luther. So clearly I'm not, like, you know, the most strict Catholic guy. But I also was referencing, you know, Latin text and whatnot. So I think I'm going to go Latinist. I just feel like if you're logician and Latinist, like if you're an educated man in Western Europe in this time period, like you got to go down at least one of these paths. I focus on Latin. It's useful in so many ways, but especially for understanding manuscripts. That also, I didn't even think about that, but that makes a lot of sense because he works with the church and making manuscripts, a lot of which are in Latin. Wonderful, a beautiful language used in the greatest empire of the ancient world. Tell me, what is your favorite Cynthia? Everyone enjoys the smell of their own farts. Remember to tell the tale of another kindness many times, but whatever kind deed you do for others, keep quiet. Yes, Cato the Younger, an unflinching defender of the Roman Republic. But what did his principles get him? Death at the hands of Caesar. Not quite true. He died by his own hand. And when Caesar learned of it, he said, Cato, I resent you for your death, for you denied me the chance to spare you. A bitter end, but not without a measure of sweetness. Ah, there's the Abbey. What if I had said no to having a conversation with this guy? This was cool. I have good memories of this place and of Father Matthias. I was sad to hear of his passing. How did you come to know him? How did you come to know of Kearsall at all? My family have been patrons of Kearsall for, oh, I don't know how many generations. Some years ago, I heard that Kearsall still had a wonderful library and artisans. Professional artists have taken over most of the manuscript production, so I was shocked to find an active scriptorium here. Well, there's not much left of it these days. 2 old men, a young scribe, and me. It is a good place as any to create art. The artists that remain here are quite talented, if a bit old-fashioned. I'll go with the first option here. I also just want to check and see 26 minutes into this video, so we've got about 5 minutes left. Ah, well, perhaps it is nostalgia that brings me back here. I commissioned a manuscript through Father Greneau a year ago. I thought I would stop by and check on the progress. Wait, are you the artist working on it? It's a prayer book with 20 illustrations. I know the work, but no. I do know the artist as well, the venerable Brother Piero. How venerable? He still has his wits and his skills, if that's what concerns you. Brother Piero has an incredible talent with color. And I very much look forward to seeing it. Away we go. What a great game. Nicholas, tend to the horses and the baggage. I'm heading up to the Abbey. Yes, my lord. Well, let's not keep the abbot waiting any longer. Ooh, hello. Nuns, I noticed. Quite unusual for a Benedictine house to have monks and nuns, even if they are separated. The church closed most of them centuries ago. But then Kearsall is a place out of time in more ways than one. So I wonder... like I said in the first episode, I've avoided reading a single word about this. Literally the only thing I knew about this going in was the E3 trailer, which I haven't rewatched since it dropped live at E3. So, I don't really know anything about this game, but I seem to recall it turns into like a murder mystery, I think. So I wonder if this guy dies. You know, the woman came out of the woods and was like cursing at him. He seems very nice. I was expecting him to be a huge asshole. He's cool. And so, like, you know, from a story perspective, you can't have a cool guy show up and be super cool. He's gonna die. I'm convinced. He's gonna get killed. Maybe not him. Maybe it'll be like one of the people working at the Abbey or something. Do you know Mother Cecilia? She seemed to recognize you. Why were they closed? Monks and nuns living side by side cannot behave themselves. I don't blame them, though. The church shouldn't either. It's just human nature, after all. Damn, you're tall. Okay, never mind. You were just up on stairs, I guess. Ah, you must be Father Greneau. I am Lorenz, Baron of... Yes, the Baron of Rothvogel. So wonderful to have you here. We actually did meet on your last visit. Dude, the fonts, everything about this game, like, it just, like, every little thing about, like, the different ways that fonts and typos and animations with each person conveys, like, the way they behave and talk and stuff. It's so cool. Ah, if you say so. I'm not good with remembering faces. Please forgive me, my lord, but I wasn't expecting you for another few days. Yes, I know, but I wrote ahead. I just couldn't wait to see my manuscript. I'm sure it's no trouble. Well, yes. I mean, no, it is no trouble. Did you want to see it now? Oh, in a moment. I could do with a bit of refreshment, though. May I grab something from the kitchen? Yes, certainly, my lord. I will meet you there. Andreas, I don't know what you were doing with the Baron, but I need you in the scriptorium now. Of course, Father. I'm eager to get to work. Why are you taking this out on me? He's not my problem. Is this a bad time to ask for an advance on my payment for the Book of Hours? I'll say I'm eager to get to work. Then get to work! Alright, bitch, calm down. Shit. I should have asked him about an advance for the gardener's taxes. I assumed that the opportunity would present itself later, but maybe I could just convince Brother Mathieu to pay me early. Yeah, I don't want to talk to that guy. He sucks. Alright, the gardener's taxes. Find a way to get paid. That is a good ending spot for this episode. I think I'm in love with this game. I can't get enough. I'm going to record another episode immediately after this. Thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying this series, please leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you guys again next time. Bye-bye.